Renee, yeah. Man, I got it, wow.
Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Box Seats. This is the show we talk about sports with comedians. As we wait for the comedians to join us, let me bring in filmmaker Jason Hayes. Jay, how you doing, sir?
What up, Frank?
Good to see you, bro. Good to see you. Also, let me bring in Amir Sealy. He's joined us for 3 days in a row. We special. Amir, how you doing, bro? He got his thing on. You got your thing on mute, Amir. There you go. It's coming. He's coming. He's coming. I'm sure he's coming.
Oh,
He's coming.
there it is.
Yeah, he's coming.
There we go.
There you go.
Good afternoon. Salute. What's going on, gentlemen?
Good to see you, bro. How you doing, sir?
What up, Amir?
I'm good. How's everything, Jay?
It's all good, brother.
So we got an interesting show today, man. It's really interesting. There's a lot to talk about because of course this NCAA action is happening. It's jumping off. But first, I want to get the show started. Jay, you're familiar. I always like to find a couple of things that are very interesting to first talk about. My man, Damian Jones, comedian Damian Jones is in the building. How you doing, D. Jones?
Good morning, you guys.
D. Jones.
What's up,
So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about something interesting first. Let me just throw this in here first. And of course, let me put up D. Jones. D. Jones is the comic of here, man. You're going to have D. Jones is going to be the one to talk about. Let me see. Here we go. Let me get this here. D. Jones is here. All right, D. First things first. I'm not sure if you guys saw this news item, but it looks like Barry Bonds is going to join Netflix as a baseball analyst for the 2026 season. It was announced yesterday. Barry Bonds, who's 61, is expected to appear on pre- and post-game programs ahead of Netflix's Major League Baseball slate, including opening night game between the Giants and the New York Yankees on March 25th. So I want to ask you, DJ. Oh, my man White Chocolate is here too. Hold on, let me bring him in. White Chocolate, what's happening, bro? How you doing?
Hey, what's going on, fellas? How you doing?
All right.
So D. Jones, the reason why I want to ask this question and bro, topic out there is, do you think there's going to be an audience out there, D. Jones, who's going to be upset that Barry Bonds is part of the Netflix gang and part of being their baseball analyst because there was so much hate going on against Barry Bonds? D. Jones, what's your take?
I don't think so, only because I think he's gonna be good at it. I watch him on an interview with maybe All the Smoke, and we don't really see Barry Bonds talk or do interviews. He was really good, kind of funny,
right.
You know what I'm saying, and intriguing. And I think people are mad at him for the steroid use, but people want to hear great players. Like I was excited when Jordan was supposed to be a part of the NBC broadcast, even though it didn't last that long.
And it was a flam. It was a flam. That was
but it was
You make too much money for that.
Yeah.
It was still pretty dope to see, to me, the GOAT talk, and then to a lot of people, Barry Bonds is the best baseball player. So I don't think he'd get backlash for talking. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I think he'd get more views.
I think, yeah. Well, before I even get my take,
Or
Jay,
they might even hate watch, but it's gonna get some views.
yeah, Jay, what's your take?
So your question is, would there be people upset about Barry Bonds?
You're right. What be commentating on the game with his obviously with this track record that he has had with baseball analysts, baseball overall, and obviously about the steroid use. You know what I mean? So that's basically what the question is. Yeah.
Do you live in the modern day world? Of course, somebody's gonna be upset.
Yeah.
I mean, they gonna find something to be upset about if there's nothing to be upset about.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, understand this, Frank. What were we talking about last week? We were talking about people being upset that Bam scored 83 points.
Yeah.
They're upset about it. Why? Because they just gotta have something to be upset about. Now, as for me, I'm on the record. Mm-hmm. Barry Bonds is the greatest to ever do it. And him not being in the Hall of Fame is a large part why I don't watch MLB, because I think everybody's bogus.
Yeah,
how can you say you got a Hall of Fame and the greatest, tell people a bat ain't in it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, bro. So, yeah, they're going to be upset, but I can speak on behalf of Barry. They can eat a glizzy, okay? With mustard on it.
You gotta love Jay's response. You gotta love Jay.
You can eat this fat glizzy.
Silly, what's your take on this, bro?
I like you said, there's always going to be a segue to population that's not happy about it. But Barry Bonds is baseball. We could love him or hate him or whatever the case may be. There is nobody who's done it greater, done it better. Even as far as the steroids thing goes, I always tell people I don't even understand why we're still upset about that. That period saved baseball because it was on its way out. So I don't know why we upset. Mark Aguirre, Sammy Sosa, all of them. If they didn't go through that period and we didn't have that period, we would not be watching baseball as we currently are. So let's get over it. Let's move on. They did what they needed to do at that moment and in that time. And now it's time for us to move on. Like you said, the man's 60 years old. What y'all going to do? Forgive him when he's 1,000 or when he's no longer here? That's stupid.
Yeah.
Just let it go.
Now, let me ask the baseball person who watches baseball more than all of us on this panel. White Chocolate, what's your take on this Barry Bonds situation? And do you think it's a good thing for baseball? What's your take?
I think it's a good thing for baseball if you want to have, like D. Jones said, you want to have one of the best players ever to play the game. If he's good, there should be no complaints. I mean, I think people would tune in. I'd probably tune in just so I can hear if he's good or not. Mm-hmm. And even if he's not good, you know what? Everybody was upset with Tom Brady his first year. He wasn't that great. He'll get better. Yeah. So you got to give him a chance and see how he does. I mean, you have Fox has A-Rod with Derek Jeter and Big Papi. I mean, people want to hear those. So I think it's a good move for them. They want to draw people in and, make money because that's what it's all about. And if he's good, there should be no issue. And I agree with you guys about, the world we live in today. Everybody's upset about it. You can't sneeze, fart, blow your nose or anything without somebody being upset. So listen, be upset. If you don't like it, change the channel. I mean, that's all. I say give him a crack. Why not?
He knows ball.
I'm going to go on. Yeah, he knows baseball. I'm going to go on the record right now and say, above all, that he's going to suck coming out the gate because he doesn't like to talk. He's going to suck. So it's just going to take some time for him to get adjusted. So let's see what happens.
But he's been around the game since he was a kid, right? His father played. He's been around for a long time. He's got a lot of knowledge.
Being around the game and being a commentator for TV is two different things.
But he's got a lot of knowledge, I guess is what I'm getting at.
I've seen him in interviews, man. I mean, like D. Jones said, I saw him like on All the Smoke and another. I mean, he's pretty funny, man. I mean, he's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he is. Let's see how he goes. I'm rooting for him. I hope he can kill it. Let me talk about the next topic before we jump into the NCAA tournament. I don't know if you guys heard about this one, but I just saw it about 40 minutes ago. Hall of Famer Dennis Rodman, who got inducted to the NBA Hall of Fame in 2011, is getting ready to get inducted into the World WWE Hall of Fame, being reported by ESPN on Friday. Rodman, we all know, is a 5-time NBA champion with the Pistons and the Bulls, and he has a 4-match pro wrestling career, and 3 of those coming in the WCW. I'm not too great up on what that means, but Dennis Rodman is in the news of getting ready to be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. What you think about this as a Detroit Pistons fan, D. Jones?
Was this supposed to just be for Steve?
No, honestly, I think it's a crazy moment because I just wanted to ask you guys this because I thought it was crazy.
I think Dennis Rodman might have had the most extravagant career for any athlete ever alive.
It's up there.
Yeah,
he got to be top 2 of. If they had a movie about this man, I'm watching this movie. Okay, Dennis Rodman said he broke his man in half before. So anybody who could do that, man, and still be good. He can be inducted to any Hall of Fame. I don't remember watching the match. I remember him with Hollywood Hogan, and I think he had the thing around. But I stopped once I got some coochie. I stopped watching wrestling.
Once you get married, you go back to watching wrestling. Don't worry.
Congratulations, Dennis Rodman. That's a good answer. Jay, what's your take on this Dennis Rodman situation, bro?
My first thought is there's a WWE Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I didn't even know that either.
There's a lot of people in it.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
I mean, it's odd, man, because like I'm old enough to remember wrestling being regional.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like so who do you decide, goes in or whatever, man. I mean, listen, I remember him like doing extravagant appearances. So I don't remember him like doing like a whole wrestling season where he's on tour with him and doing this and doing that. So I don't know why he would even be in their Hall of Fame, unless they just want, to draw some attention to the Hall of Fame itself. And listen, it's working because I didn't know they had one. So here we are. But something as frivolous as the WWE Hall of Fame, anybody can go in there. Chocolate should be in, for real.
Best watcher.
That might happen.
Yeah, best
You're
watcher.
probably more deserving than Dennis Rodman, to be honest.
Yeah, probably. Amir, what's your take on this Dennis Rodman situation, man? This is crazy to me. What's your take, Amir?
I think sometimes sports and the world of sports gets bored, and they just have to come up with things to, like you said, keep everybody engaged. Again, I didn't know that there was a Hall of Fame, for that. Don't really care. But am happy that I guess there's people out here who are that entrenched in the sport or in the idea of the sport and what it's meant to them. Much like Dee said, once I kind of started peeking behind the curtains, I wasn't excited anymore. I was like, this is silly, but I get it. I guess, so kudos to, Dennis Rodman. Look, we retiring jerseys, cats is throwing sneakers up on telephone poles in old neighborhoods. Everybody is getting some form or shape of being able to celebrate themselves in some way. So again, I guess we just say kudos to them and we keep it moving because like you said, what WrestleMania or any of those things do we remember Dennis Rodman headlining, being the main attraction?
We're about to find out, Amir, because White Chocolate, I'm sure he's gonna fill us in. So you got the.
Does it come with a check? Is my question.
A big check for him, a big check. Well, White Chocolate, tell me what your thoughts are on this.
All right, so everybody knows that WrestleMania is like the big Super Bowl of wrestling, and the WWE Hall of Fame. Vince McMahon bought a lot of the territories, right? And he bought WCW and he bought a couple others. And so you have Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant, Stone Cold, all the guys in the Hall of Fame. The side shows like Dennis Rodman and Pete Rose. Pete Rose took a tombstone pile driver from Kane in one of the WrestleManias. It's just to draw attention. The weekend they have like 3 or 4 days of like fans get to go greet people and whatnot. That Hall of Fame ceremony is like a 3 or 4 hour event. And I didn't realize because I wasn't really watching WCW then. I was watching more of WWF. And when they had the Monday Night Wars and they were battling each other. So that's when Dennis Rodman was on WCW with Hulk Hogan. And I had to look it up. Apparently he skipped an NBA Finals practice to go wrestle Karl Malone in one of those big events, which is hilarious, right? So listen, it's all just for ratings. Give him a little shine, put him in the Hall of Fame, draw some attention, and that's all. That's pretty much all it is. That weekend is going to be a huge weekend. I don't watch as much wrestling as I would like because now they put it on Netflix, so it makes it a little more difficult to watch. But overall, I'm not surprised or shocked at who gets in anymore. I think they're letting too many people in too early. Every year they let it feels like they let 10 people in, and some of them it feels like they're either still wrestling or they just retired. Then they come back. It's like, wait, you just left 2 years ago. Now you know what I mean? So yeah, I think they need to do something to tamp it back a little bit and not have as many people go in. But that. Right. I'm not shocked.
Quick question.
Yeah, Steve's talking too long about this wrestling thing, bro.
But actually, I have one more thing real quick. Monday night, I am going to the Boston Garden, the TD Garden, Monday night to watch WWE Raw. My nephew called me and said, "Hey, I got tickets. Do you want to go?" So I'm going.
I wish you had said that a minute ago.
All right. That's my ticket into the Hall of Fame.
They sniffed out the Steve using that password on Netflix.
Quick question to everybody: yes or no? Quick answer. Don't think about it. Is Dennis Rodman top 10 power forward or top 10 defender all time?
Yes. To both.
Yes to both.
Yes.
Top 10 power forward. No. Top 10 defender. Yes.
Yes, that's my answer too. No, power forward. Yes, defender. Yes. All right.
Yes to both.
All right. So let me ask you this, D Jones. I don't know if you've been paying up on it, and since White Talker said he doesn't, be on this. Steve, I'm gonna remove you from this panel for this next NCAA tournament talk. We're gonna do that, but we're gonna talk about the NCAA tournament. Steve said he didn't want to talk about it because he doesn't know it, so I'm not trying to pressure him.
If they start wrestling, we'll bring him back.
yeah, we talk about wrestling. We'll definitely bring him back because he'll want to talk about that all day. D Jones.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you saw the NCAA games this last couple of days, but to me, so far, and I'm not watching TV obviously now because we're on. To me, so far, the most exciting game has got to be VCU coming back to stun North Carolina with the largest first-round comeback in NCAA tournament history. That's got to be the game so far. What's your take on this, D Jones? How are you looking at this? Yeah, I mean, it's exciting. We're talking about the NCAA tournament. What you think about this game, especially giving up a lead like that? And Coach Davis is upset. Did you see all that? Oh man, he almost blew a gas.
That's a blue blood. Like, you don't expect North Carolina to get bounced in the first round like that. So it was very, very shocking. Are we only talking about that game right now?
No, just right now. Yeah, we're gonna talk about the other games in a second.
So that was super shocking. I don't know what the recruiting is for North Carolina no more. I remember they used to get some of the best cats to come out of high school, man. But with the NIL, it's kind of spread around everywhere. So we'll see, man. But yeah, that was shocking. I was shocked to see. That was one of the most shocking joints I've seen the first round.
Okay. Jay, do you think that was the most embarrassing loss in North Carolina history?
For sure. Like, I'm saying, I grew up a North Carolina fan. Like, I love that was my team growing up. So, and I still do root for them, to a large extent. The only time I don't is when they play Florida State.
Right.
So you are a Jordan fan.
Yeah, I told you I love Jordan.
Okay.
In college, man. But listen, number one, they should have made Hubert Davis find his own goddamn way home. Bro, he should have been fired in the arena. I'm serious. Because what happened is inexcusable. What happened should never happen in North Carolina.
I agree. But
then two, I'm not shocked because I'm looking at the lineup. All I see is a bunch of light-skinned dudes, man. It's all light-skinned dudes and like two goofy white dudes. I'm like, you can't win championships with that, bro.
You crack me up talking like you dark-skinned.
Man, you can't win with that, Frank. You know what I mean? You need about 4 mirrors out there, man.
Yeah, you do. You
need one at every position. You need a mirror at the guard position. You need a mirror at the forward position. You need a mirror at the center. And they ain't got that. Like, I felt bad. I can't say bad. It felt iffy to me at halftime because they were up and they were kind of flexing a little bit, man. In VCU, they was all dark-skinned dudes and they didn't look bothered. I was like, I think they're going to come back in the second half and make it a game, but I didn't think that they would do enough to win. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like North Carolina, was going to choke it away because Hubert sucks as a coach. The verdict is in on Hubert, bro. He ain't it for them. He shouldn't be in that job. It's time to get somebody else up in there.
I agree. Amir, Coach Hubert Davis shrinks the roster to rotation to 6 people entire second half, which was one of the worst things. I mean, he's obviously regretting it now, but he shrinks the rotation to 6 people in the second half, which allowed because obviously, exhaustion sets in. Yeah, you know what I mean? I think it's one of the dumbest coaches. Anyway, Amir, tell me what you think about this North Carolina VCU game.
Well, first off, it is an unfortunate circumstance, but you just hit the nail on the head. The coaching decision was terrible. And then secondly, look, we said this yesterday and the day before, the NCAA tournament is the only tournament where you are going to start finding cats that you never heard of and or saw before in your entire life. Yep. Besides the legacies, because there's going to be those spread throughout the tournament, there's going to be somebody named John Jones. You don't know this boy from a hole in the wall or a can of paint. But he's going to go off on this tournament and at the right time, and that's going to put him on the map. The problem for the schools that have the names, the Kentuckys, the North Carolinas, the Dukes, and so forth and so on, is just that. We've got a name. So we don't have to go out there and play like we're supposed to be here, one, and two, protect the legacy. So all the upsets that we're seeing is based off of that. We were supposed to win just because we're North Carolina. We didn't have to put any work. We didn't have to play hard. And we most certainly didn't have to take this team seriously because we're North Carolina.
Yeah, I agree.
I love the NCAA tournament for that alone. Because to see these 18-year-olds and in some cases a little bit older go from all this flexing to that does it all for me. So I applaud TCU for, showing that if you don't bring your A game, it can end quickly.
Yeah. So that brings me to you. That brings me to you, D Jones. The other game that there's a lot of games on, but the other game, D Jones, that stood out to me was I was watching a lot of AJ Batista, for BYU playing Texas, and I was flipping between that game and the Howard versus Michigan game. Michigan looked. I'm gonna talk. Well, I might not even get to the Michigan game because Michigan was supposed to win, but for me, BYU was kind of crazy to me because AJ stood out. D Jones, he looked like a man playing amongst boys, but he's still lost.
Dude now.
Yeah, he's the man, especially the way he's playing and his height and length and everything else. Do you think this is going to hurt his losing? Do you think BYU losing first round in the tournament, that's going to hurt his stock at all?
Let me think. He's going to go top 2? So not at all. I think he's going to be first or second pick in the draft. Matter of fact, he ain't had no help. So he kind of carried the team on his back. What he put up, 34?
He had 35, right?
Yeah, something like that. So, yeah, this ain't gonna do nothing but make him even better. I remember, Ben Simmons didn't even make the tournament, and he went, I think, number 1. You know what I'm saying? So this not gonna hurt him at all. This probably gonna be like, hey man, we need a guy like this who can carry a team by himself, and that's what he did.
Yeah, I agree with that part. Jay, looking at AJ come out with BYU and everything else, do you think he made the wrong decision by going with BYU? Do you think that was it, or what was it? What you think? It was about money.
I mean, if taking $5 million for a year of college football is a bad decision, then
yeah.
Man, listen, them Mormons coming off that bag out there, bro, because they can't get no Negroes out there no other kind of way. And he a chocolate Negro. You know what I'm saying? So.
But what do you think about his game? What do you think about his game? You like?
He tough, bro. He tough. Yeah. I mean, he's going no worse than second. I mean, I'm gonna say it now. He's going number 1 overall.
He should.
I mean, I don't care who get the pick. I don't care who picking. He's going number 1 overall because he's been the most consistent all season long. And and even though he lost, he played big in that game. And like D Jones said, I mean, he got like 1.5 teammates. You know what I'm saying? Because BYU always send those dudes off, to do Mormon missions, and they come back at like 37 years old, playing college football. You know what I'm saying? With their wife and kids in the stands. So he carried that team all season long. I mean, what were they like a 5th seed, 6th seed, something like that?
Yeah.
That's all him. And the proof is in the pudding because Rutgers did not make the tournament last year at all. And they had 2 players win the top 5. So, so it ain't gonna hurt him at all with his draft stock.
So Amir, that brings me to you. The way he plays, his style of play, remind me. I mean, everybody always puts style of play to certain. They always compare me. I watched the whole game this way this boy played, and to me, I don't know who he reminds you of, but he reminds me of Tracy McGrady, hands down. You know what I mean? Style of play, the way his height, the way he was using his height, the way he was able to play coming off the picks. Who does he remind you of? And are you disappointed with BYU's performance yesterday?
Again, I'm never disappointed with any team's performance. I'm disappointed that people or sometimes the players don't rise to the moment. because again, to make the NCAA tournament first and foremost is special within itself. So let's start there, because we act like, this is something that everybody gets to go to every year and gets to, be great at. So that's the first thing. The second thing is his style of play is, like you said, reminiscent of a Tracy McGrady, Grant Hillish, that ability to, be able to, do certain things that you don't see in today's game. So many of today's athletes are, yes, much more athletic, but they're relying too much on a jump shot and, things of that magnitude. And it's great to see somebody who has the total package, or, a total bag, as they say now. But the big thing to me, for them or for any team going forward in this tournament is you got to be present right now, right here. Don't think to yourself, we looking past them because we hope to play this team over here. You better be focused on this game that's going on right now. Because if you don't, we'll go back to what I said previously. Towels on the head, a whole lot of snot bubbles, and do because their life is over. Look, how many cats do we know? This was it. The NCAA tournament run was all we ever heard of those guys. We never heard from them ever again until they do, 30 years later, and then we see the story and be like, oh shoot, I forgot about him. Yeah. You've been in the car wash all these years? Damn. So I'm just saying.
So that brings me to you, D Jones. What game there's a lot of other games that happen. What game surprised you the most? And was it a comeback victory from behind? Was it somebody who stopped somebody like Michigan, did to Howard? What game surprised you so far in this tournament?
It's not surprising, but I'm just going to put this out there because it was a close game in the first half. I'm talking about close game. But to put up 100 in the tournament versus anybody, all I'm going to say is go blue, baby. Go blue. We coming for it all. Michigan won the tournament this season.
Michigan got size, D Jones. Michigan got a lot of size.
Yes.
But I will say this: your center is really slow. That dude looks like he playing slow motion. Look like he playing in oatmeal. That's all I'm gonna say.
Right.
He playing really slow. But y'all got a lot of size at every position. I will give you that.
That's what she said.
Let me ask you, Jay. What game surprised you the most? What game stood out, and who stood out so far for you? Jay.
Man. The most surprising game to me that I saw yesterday was St. Louis putting that thing on Georgia. Bro, I mean, like St. Louis, like they gonna be a problem for like whoever plays them. I don't know if you play ball like that, but the hardest people to play are dudes who are herky jerky. Everything about their game is unconventional. They bring the ball up from weird angles, they shoot at weird angles, but they got quick feet on top of that, and they make it.
Yeah,
St. Louis has like a whole squad of that,
and they use the glass. Don't forget that, Jay. They use the glass at unconventional angles all the time. They ain't just just a filthy, ugly game. That you can never really adjust to because the timing is on like the 1 and the 3. You know what I'm saying? And so they beat. Listen, I think they beat Georgia by 30 points. And Georgia was, it was an 8-9 or whatever, but still, man, nobody expected that to take place. St. Louis, they shoot the 3, they get to the cup, they finish off contact, they defend. I'm telling you, man, they're gonna be a problem. That was the most surprising game for me last night. And for me, Jay, I'm gonna say this. The Alabama first half, when they were losing that happened today, that was about to be my biggest game, my biggest surprise, because as we talked about at the beginning of this week, they lost their player to that holding that 2-pound of weed. You know what I mean? But Hofstra ended up coming, started giving up, and I don't know what the score is now. I don't have white chocolate. Look it up. But
listen, that cop just called his wife and said, "Honey, we can stay."
So far.
We can stay.
Yeah. Amir, what's the game that surprised you the most, and who stood out so far the most in the tournament for you?
The game that surprised me the most was that Duke game. Because
Siena?
Yeah, because the cat from Siena, first of all, he was giving them that work. they was getting that work from homie. The point, and that they're saying is pivotal, was when that tripping thing happened. Hey, it is what it is. But look, maybe, without that, this guy goes on to have one of those prolific tournament moments. And two other things I just want to mention. I heard you mention the Michigan and their size. I got a chance to see them up close and personal in Vegas early this year. St. John's played a tournament out in Vegas. I happened to be out there during that time. Michigan is super long. And that kid, yes, he looks long and slow and all that, but he is very long. Like he's scary long. Like I was like, God, Jesus. And I've, been around my fair share of basketball players. That whole team is long and capable of a lot of different things. But to go back to what I was saying about the kid from Siena, not since John Morton and Glenn Rice have we seen somebody take over a game and we just going to go mano-a-mano and prove who's the best. And I think that young man yesterday from Siena was on his way to having one of those kind of evenings or afternoons. Hey, you put out the hit, we come from a different era where certain things were said, hey, go get him. Yo,
Yeah.
do what you do.
Put the goon in. Yep.
Yeah.
So that was the most surprising thing to me because I thought, Siena really was controlling that game for a good portion of it. And then once that incident happened, things seemed to go awry for them. So that was mine.
All right, so D. Jones, now we got to jump into the NBA real fast because some stuff happened in the NBA that I want to talk about. The Miami Heat are getting ready to waive, and they might have waived them by now, Terry Rozier, because they want to create, obviously, a roster spot for the team, moving into the playoff. And we all know Rozier's been away since he was arrested October 23rd as part of a federal investigation into illegal gambling. The trade brought him to Miami, obviously in June 2024. And Miami's getting ready to deal with that situation right now. The feds are still investigating this alleged gambling conspiracy, and that's what everybody wants to dive into right now. And there are people who are upset about Terry Rozier being waived because he so far was now found guilty of this and everything else. Do you think it's the right thing to do? What you think, D. Jones?
Well, I think that the Pistons should get on the phone, call Terry Rozier and Malik Beasley. Y'all ain't been found guilty of nothing yet. Okay,
Come on, D. Jones.
Go waive him. We need somebody to play his point guard for 2 weeks. That's all we need you for. Okay, so go ahead, waive him. We just need you for 2 weeks, and then you can go about your business, dog. Just don't shave any points with the Pistons. That's all I'm asking. Terry Rozier, Malik Beasley, somebody get on the phone, please.
I'm gonna say right now, if the Houston Rockets call Terry Rozier, the whole thing changes, bro. Their whole season changes if they call him because he could play. There's nothing wrong with him, and he was a great point guard for the Celtics, and he was a great point guard for Charlotte at the time,
And for the Heat,
and
for the Heat until he started missing open layups. Allegedly,
yeah.
Jay, what's your take on Terry Rozier being waived by Miami? Should he counter sue? Should he do something? Should he actively, fight this? What's your take, Jay?
I mean, they've been without him for so long at this point. I guess they figure he's not going to be a part of the mix moving forward. So it's almost like doing him a favor. You know what I'm saying? Like just let him go because you're not going to do anything with him. Give him a chance to possibly sign with somebody else. And see what happens from there. Because, listen, like you guys said, he's not been convicted of anything, but allegations are bad when it comes to gambling. I mean, it just is. But I would recommend to Terry Rozier, he should watch the new Tracy Morgan show on NBC and Peacock called the Fall and the Rise of I forget his name right now. Correct, because he got banned for betting on himself. He said I bet on myself to motivate me to play better. If I'm Terry Rozier, I would say, man, I bet on myself to win, man, because it made me play better. You know what I'm saying? And that actually raises an interesting question. Like, if you bet on yourself to win, then why is that a problem for the league? You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying.
Great point. Amir, where you at with this, bro? Should Terry Rozier fight this? Or should because Terry Rozier, if he comes back right now, like I said, I threw this out there with Houston. But if he says, "Hey, I want to come back and play," and Houston picks him up, that would be a good thing for Houston. You know what I mean?
No question. But again, we have to think about the larger picture. The larger picture is the NBA is the basketball mafia.
It is.
Look, there's not a lot of wiggle room there. I keep telling y'all, you're talking about billionaires who are making sure millionaires stay in line. It is what it is. Those guys can't afford to have the brand tainted in any way, shape, or form. I don't care who you are. We keep forgetting some of the other names that were thrown out, like you said, along with this, allegations and all that stuff. And unfortunately, when you have those kinds of things happen, it doesn't make a difference what sport it is or what you're doing in life. That kind of doesn't go away because the world now has the perception or the ideology that supposedly that's how you operate. They would love to, I'm sure, give that young man another chance. He is 32. I looked it up while y'all were talking. So he is 32. So it's not like he's a spring chicken. But the point is, the NBA still has to protect that brand. And right now, he's fish grease hot. They can't afford to have him come in there and do anything that's going to keep that spotlight on him like so. So that's going to be an interesting thing to watch.
Well, Amir, that boy can still play. White chocolate.
So in other words, Amir is saying it's a wrap, dog. It's time for him to get that Home Depot apron.
Yeah, it definitely is. White chocolate, where you at with this? What's your take?
I agree with everything Jay and Amir said. Basically, and we talked about this before on other athletes that have the same issue where teams don't want to have negative publicity and they don't want to get asked after every single game, what's going on with Terry Rozier and the gambler? What's going on with that? That's going to be a thing. And they don't want to have that. They want to focus on the games. And listen, if I was him, I would probably be happier. Just look, he's going to get his whole salary. I just looked it up. He's getting paid all $26 million, and they'll let him go before the April 9th deadline so that the Heat can keep or add whatever they want for the playoffs and not disrupt that, because you don't want distractions or disruptions. If I was him, I'm getting paid. Let me move on to the next thing, and maybe he can come back next year.
Yeah, he
big three.
Yeah, you better.
I looked him up too, Frank. And I see that he's from Youngstown, Ohio. $26 million goes a long way in the pill belt.
Yep, it sure does. D. Jones, I want to move on since we talked about Miami Heat. Let's talk about the Miami Heat last night, because when the Lakers star Luka Doncic went to the free throw line last night, 14 seconds left in the game, people were chanting MVP, 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 because Luka's, reached 60 points last night in Miami. And the crowd was chanting in Miami. The crowd was chanting for him for MVP. So I want to ask you, because I even heard this question today on some of the sports shows where I had playing in the background. Should Luka Doncic be considered for the NBA MVP? D. Jones.
He can consider, yes. Yeah, consider. Yes. To answer your question, he should be considered. Is he top 3? No. But he should be considered. I would say you still got SGA. You got who's after him? Wemby, maybe. Yep. Jaylen Brown. Cade's hurt, so he's probably out. Joker, and then him. So maybe he's top 5. He's considered.
Okay.
But I think you got to play both ends to be MVP, bro. Or at least be the number one team.
Right. Honestly, I got to say, I didn't even know why the sports shows was bringing it up, but I decided to bring it up to see what you guys thought, because from my perspective.
And I heard LeBron was the man last night. They said he looked like old school Miami.
He did. But when Luka got to the line, he was trying to tie and get 60 points. First time a Laker player got that high up since Kobe's 81. So the fans was up there chanting his name in Miami, which blew me away. So that's why I want to ask you all. Maybe you all agree with them, because I didn't agree with this at all. So sidetrack
real quick. This is why the GOAT's the GOAT. You know whose numbers retired in Miami? I'll leave it at that, Jay.
Okay. All right. Jay.
Alonzo Mourning?
His number is retired in Miami. It is retired in Miami.
So is Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
Oh, okay. So
I don't know why we do that.
Jay, let me ask you this, man. Am I looking at it crazy? Look, what's your perspective on Luka Doncic being considered for the NBA MVP? What's your perspective?
Hey, man, Luka is hot buttered buns on the defensive end. So no, never. Scoring should not be the only thing required to win an MVP. You got to do more than that, in my opinion. But for them chanting like MVP in Miami, I mean, what was it? Slovenia night in the arena or something?
It might have been.
But then again, listen, as a Floridian, we ain't never like them turncoat Cubans. So it might have been in there. We know, yeah, we will vote for Luka Doncic, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, we can't stand them people down there. So I don't know who let them in the arena. I don't know why they didn't get the hell up out of them for even saying that, because we don't play like that in Florida, bro.
So what'd you say? They say his name is Luka Doncic. That's what they call him.
Luka Doncic.
No, Luka Doncic.
Luka Doncic. Doncic, man.
Man,
Yeah.
From your perspective, I mean, we all watch basketball. From your perspective, is Luka considered? Because they were having a conversation today on the sports shows that he should be considered. I was like, what?
Well, here's the problem. I get what everybody's saying about, playing both sides and the defensive end and so forth and so on. Look, we love to live nostalgically, meaning this is how we played the game, or this is how we did stuff. It's a new day and age, y'all. And whether you love it or hate it, and let's stop acting like we got that many great defenders in the league as it stands now. Go look up the way the game is played now. We got an 8-step step back to take jump shots. We got cats who walk 16 steps forward before they dribble again and lay it up. So let's throw that out the window. Is he one of the premier cats to watch in the league as it stands right now? No question. Because even as slow as he is, even as much as he looks like he's not interested in the game, we look up and there is a 30-point game on the board. Now, all of you have played some sport in some fashion or form, but how many of us have been as consistent as this guy has been this year, showing up night in and night out? Doesn't make a difference where he's playing. Doesn't make a difference who they're playing. He seems to put 30 up on the board like the rest of us breathe and or eat and sleep. Now,
I was cold in the streets.
Do I think that he's the greatest, like you said, in the game right now? No, because just like D said, I think Shai Gilgeous is better, is more prevalent to his team and all these different things. But he definitely is box draw, and he's showing up every night. We don't have a night where he's been taken off. Seems to me so far this year we haven't had, hey, Doncic only had 9. It's not happening. This dude every night is giving you 25 or 30 points with ease. That's MVP play, whether we love it or hate it. That's the truth.
White Chocolate,
but he gonna get his FGAs though.
Yeah, White Chocolate, what's your take?
He gonna get them FGAs.
My take is, I am kind of old school. I think the MVP across all the sports is misguided. It's supposed to be who's the most valuable to your team, I think, not just the league. And I just go back to Alex Rodriguez winning the MVP on the last place Texas Rangers. That's terrible. The MVP to me is Jaylen Brown, because without Tatum and they didn't have him, where would they be? He has really stepped up and been a leader and been the most valuable to his team. That's my take on it.
And I agree with you. So, but we're not.
Not just because it's the Celtics, but remove Doncic from the Lakers. Can they still be a 500 team? Probably. Remove SGA. Can they still be a 500 team? Probably. But if you remove Jaylen Brown, the Celtics are in the basement.
Yeah.
But see, here's my issue, with Luka though, right? This is why, to me, why Luka's not in the running. He cannot win over people who score and play defense. And there are guys who do both. Jaylen Brown is a person who does both.
That's a great point.
Wemby is a person who does both. SGA is a person who does both. So I don't have a problem with it if everybody playing the same way he plays. I'm just saying he should not win over people who do more than he does. And that's the few dudes that do.
Most of the sports reward offense only.
Yeah. but you guys are absolutely right. But to me, the MVP was created because who's the most valuable player to their team? If you take that player off the team, Wemby, he's a good answer.
Wemby.
Jokic's a good answer too. But Wemby and Jokic, both of those guys, if you take both of those guys off those teams, those guys are still winning.
No, they're not.
No, yes, they are.
Because Denver's not.
You take Wemby off, and he has taken games off, and they still won. And you take Jokic off of this team, and they still won. You take Jaylen Brown off their team, and hell, the Celtics might be lucky if they win 15 games. I mean, that's just the way it is. That's how
But Frank, we saw what happened in San Antonio last year when Wemby had the blood clots. They fell off the face of the earth, and they were picking in the top 3 in the draft.
Yeah, but
you know what I'm saying? So we know what happens when that guy is not there.
But Jay, you're doing it again. You're considering last year to this year. This year's roster is playing completely different than last year's roster. Same roster, but again, they're playing different. And
because Wemby's there.
Even when Wemby wasn't. I'm gonna have White talk look this up when we get off.
I just looked up Denver this year without Jokic, and they're 10-6.
So
this year.
Yeah. So anyway, I want to get to this next topic because this next topic is to me was white hot, and I didn't see nobody talking about this on the sports show. So D Jones, this is something that I want to make sure we talk about it because the NFL is laying down groundwork right now quietly for replacement refs this season if the refs are unable to get an agreement for a new collective bargaining agreement right now with the NFL Referees Association. So to make a long story short, because this is a big, huge paragraph, I'm not even going to dive into it, but I will say this. We literally could have an NFL season that kicks off this year if they don't get an agreement with replacement refs. That's what we could be doing this upcoming season. What's your thoughts on replacement refs coming in, D. Jones?
Didn't we have this about 10 years ago? Because I remember the Seattle and Green Bay debacle.
Yeah,
and
they paid them boys quick.
Yeah, and that's what's gonna happen again after week 3. They were like, you know what? How much we owe y'all? Because it's gonna be bad again. As long as they don't mess with the Patriots winning, I'm okay. But I think it's gonna be a debacle, man. They better go ahead and pay the rep. They got enough money to pay us.
Yeah. They do. Jay, where are you at with this? Because we all remember the debacle that happened. I think D. Jones is right. I think this was 10 years ago. And here's the crazy part. The refs that they're thinking about getting in, right? The refs are not even college refs. They're some of the refs who did, they're some of the refs who doing the what do you call the NFL league, the other football league?
The UFL.
Yeah, there's some of those refs. And the lockout was 2012 when the last time this happened. So that's what we're looking at right now. So we have some of those kind of refs. We looking at this with Jay. What's your thoughts?
I mean, my first thought is, where can I find that application?
I'm with you. They make big bucks, $250,000 a year.
Go get that application. Let me get an app in there,
Let's
baby.
go.
Damn. Listen, I ain't gonna work but 2 weeks, but I'll take it. But no, D. Jones raises a very interesting point. Like, it's one of those things that you take for granted. You know, like when they're really good at their job, you know, like motion, you know, like the tight end covered up, you know, the tackle type stuff. Like we don't know that, man. You know, but the NFL probably has like 1,000 different rules that you have to know. Mm-hmm. And they're gonna mess with a bunch of stuff, and you know the media. Mm-hmm. Everything that they miss, they are going to highlight it and point out, you know, this procedure call was missed, that was missed, and all this other stuff. It's just gonna be a nightmare for the NFL PR-wise. Pay them dues, man.
Yeah, I think they get paid well before it even gets to that point. I don't even think
don't hire me. I'm going to prison. Traveling.
You get 12 minutes in the penalty box.
I'm taking bribes. Don't hire me.
You know what's so interesting?
D. Jones, he got a gambling problem, man. You don't need to hire him.
But you know what's so interesting about this is, you know, we're saying this. We've been watching the regular NFL and they've been screwing up. So let's not act like, you know, if we get some you know, referees who aren't as it's going to be much of a difference. Look, I spend every week. I haven't technically watched the NFL fully since the Colin Kaepernick situation, but that's a whole nother argument for another day. But with that having been said, when I do check out the games, I'm catching stuff in real time. I see dudes who line up off sides every play. I be like, how are y'all missing this? If I can see this, how is it y'all can't see this? You got that. You got blown coverages and holding. I see dudes who have an arm all the way up in the dude's neck like this. The dude's head is darn near on his ass, and cats are like, they didn't see that. How are y'all missing this
Sam
stuff?
Donald last year.
What's the catch? What's the catch, people?
So
I'm trying. That's what I was about to say. I mean, I have no idea what the definition of a catch is now. I couldn't tell you.
So with that having been said, yes. Do I hope that they settle this thing quickly and we get back to whatever format football is? Yes. But let's be clear. It looks like there needs to be some cleaning up, even with what we already have, because the rules seem to change from moment to moment. And those of us who are fans are sick and tired because we don't really know how to cheer this version of the game on. That's my take.
I agree. And
What
Steve,
I'm hoping for, Frank, is that they pull somebody from the Appalachia League, because I want to see a referee with his eyes about a half-inch apart from each other.
Hilarious. Steve, I don't know what pass interference is, and if you was to ask me right now, I couldn't tell you it by NFL standard rules now, and by the games we play right now. I don't know what a pass interference. I know what it's supposed to be, but I don't know what it is. But Steve, what's your take on the refs getting ready to strike right now? Where you at with this?
Let them go on strike. Replace them with full-time refs. I think that's part of the problem. These guys have other jobs. They're not able to focus their full time and energy and training on the new rules and everything changing week to week and what's a catch and what's not. And a guy got his arm around his neck and they're missing calls. I say if they want to go on strike, let them replace them with full-time refs, not replacements. And then, the strike is over and bring the other guys back. No, train them all. They should have year-round training. They should have training. They should have simulation training. They should have, like, when the guys go to, and they do this in training camp. They have a referee go to training camp when they do the what's the practice when they have the Patriots practiced against Philadelphia, right? They have a ref go there. Like those guys should be full-time guys. Then
the scrimmages, yeah.
Then maybe they won't miss as many, and maybe then if those guys go on strike, it's a different animal. But these guys are all part-time. They have other jobs. They have other commitments. I just don't think it's right to have part-time refs anymore. I think if this happens this time, listen, I just looked. The average guy starting as a ref, is 100 to 150,000. The good guys get like 250 to 300,000 for only being there from August to January, like 6 months.
Is this on Indeed? Because I'm finna.
I need that application.
I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you, that's where we're going. I mean, listen, the guys go on strike. Sign me up as a full-time ref, and I'll make six figures. To be there and watch film and go run up and down the field. I'm good with it.
Yeah, I will too. All right, so before we roll up out of here, let me ask D Jones: Is there any game this weekend you're looking forward to? The NCAA tournament game you're looking forward to? Because I know the show's gonna wrap up. Before I ask you for how we can follow you and everything else, what game you looking forward to now? As we move forward.
I believe Michigan is playing Louisville, and that's gonna be a very, very interesting game right there.
So that's your game. Okay. Now since I have you, what are you getting into this weekend, bro? What you getting into?
Listen, real quick. I was with Carl Payne today, Cole Martin.
Yeah, I know Carl.
I played ball with him.
We was going to the different news places today, walking in, and the greeters would come to me first, like, "How you doing, Mr. Payne?" Because they'd never seen Martin before. So, it's hilarious. None of the young people know what Martin is. They kept and I was like, "Hey, I'm Mr. Payne." But anyway, I'm hosting with him all weekend at the Punchline in Southfield, Michigan.
Okay, all right. So Jay, what you getting into this weekend? And before you even answer that, what game are you looking forward to watching first?
Nothing specific, man, because I'm not sure how it's going to play out. I got to see how things play out today, But my plan is to watch a whole lot of college basketball this weekend for sure. And then in the morning, I'm going to get up and I'm going to go to a coffee shop somewhere in Brooklyn. I'm going to get me a nice hot macchiato, and I'm going to get me a slice of lemon pound cake. For my fellow tribesman Afro man, who won his defamation suit this week against them crooked ass cops. Lemon pound cake for everybody, baby. Let's go.
Great song. Great song.
I knew you was going there. Amir, any particular game looking forward to? Any particular thing, and what you getting into this weekend?
I am, much like Jay, I'm probably just gonna, immerse myself in as many games as possible. Obviously, my heart is with, St. John's, just for sentimental reasons and because I'm a New Yorker. But I'm just, like I said, I just love the tournament because I love seeing underdog stories and I love seeing cats come to life who we may not have heard of before, and now they're making their grand debut in real time. For the weekend, I'll probably be in and around Harlem. Jay, I live in Brooklyn too, so at some point,
we gotta get up there in the mirror. What's up, baby?
Yes, sir. But I'm just looking forward to moving around the city as I always do on the weekend, and just immersing myself in the different things that New York always has to offer. One thing about this city is there's always something going on somewhere.
Always. And it's warming up now, so it's about to be fish grease hot in this city, bro.
Yeah.
Bring me a Puerto Rican.
Hey, it's a plenty of them.
I know it is.
What you getting into this weekend, bro? And I know you're not watching NCAA, so.
Well, there's a bunch of games on. I might be able to tune in for a little bit just to see what's going on, but I really haven't followed the tournament for a while. Pretty much kind of quiet. I'm going to be getting ready for wrestling on Monday night. That's pretty much it for me.
I'm going to say this. I was hoping that Howard would win last night, but I want to give Howard their flowers, man. They've been in the NCAA tournament 3 out of the last 5 years. I think they're going to turn that corner. Honestly, I really hope they do, because as an HBCU, it gives shine and gives light to HBCUs being able to, obviously be able to crack that code of getting into the tournament. They happen to run up against a big team, a Michigan team. So Michigan probably is definitely going to, in my opinion, they have a good chance of being in the Final Four. Those boys, those boys can really do some work. Yeah, and they got size. But I just wanted to give flowers before I move on. Flowers to them. But I also going to keep my eye out myself on Alabama because of that arrest that happened this week. I want to see what Alabama do. They got a scare today. I'm going to be focusing on Alabama this weekend. I'm going to be focused on North Carolina. Not North Carolina. I'm going to be focusing on oh my God, the team, VCU. I'm going to be focusing on a couple of teams to see, and especially the team that got the biggest scare the other couple of nights ago was Duke. I want to see where they go because I think they're going to lose the next game. That's what I'm going to be doing. All right, so how can we follow you, D. Jones? Why you give us this Detroit Pistons? The Pistons playing tonight, right?
Yeah, they play Golden State. Please pray for Kate Cunningham and the DetroitPistons.com. That's y'all follow me. And 313 D Jones.
Jay, how we follow you?
You can follow me to that cafe, man. Get that lemon pound cake, son. That's what I'm about to do. But listen, no, follow me at JD Hayes at fan base, man.
Okay. And Amir.
You got me at A-Rock Silly on Instagram, and you got me at Amir Silly on Facebook. And I just want to say this, a big rest in peace to Chuck Norris, because we heard that we lost him today.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
one of those guys.
Octagon was one of my favorite movies, man. Loved it.
Hold on.
White Chocolate, tell everybody out there how they can follow you, bro.
All right, well, Frank, everybody can follow me and Frank on Boston Straight Shooters on Facebook and YouTube. And part of the reason I haven't been able to watch a tournament is because the Bruins have been playing and the Celtics have been playing. So I got a show to do, so I got to watch those.
Yeah, I understand. Okay, y'all, we getting ready to roll up.
Hey, Amir.
Wow. Yes.
Is that Chuck Norris dog?
The Chuck Norris. It's an action figure. Ain't no damn dog. It's an action figure.
And don't besmirch Walker, Texas, man.
I love this show. All right, y'all, we gotta get
that's great.
Anyway, the name of the show is called Box Seats. Thank you all for watching. Y'all have a good and pleasant weekend, man. We come back Monday. We're going to do a recap of the NCAA tournament. Any other hot news is jumping off, all that, and then some. Thank y'all for watching. We'll see y'all later. Peace.
Hey, what you need, yeah.